Hello, welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII Remastered playthrough. So today we are going to be heading into this building, and we are going to be getting two GFs today. One will be Odin, and the other one is going to be the Tonberry King. Now, you can hold off on this pretty much all the way to the end of the game. This will always be accessible, and these two can never be missed. They just, if you choose not to get them, then you won't get them. But I did make some changes. So before you enter here, it's important to know that you're going to be on a countdown timer. You'll have 20 minutes to reach Odin, and with the Odin fight, you have to beat him before the time expires. So there's a couple of puzzles that you'll have to do along the way. And in order to mitigate the challenge, I would suggest learning Diablos' Encounter None, or you can use the double-click option here to turn on no encounters. It'll just make the experience a little bit easier. I do recommend having Mug on one of your characters, because Odin does have a luck junction scroll that is very valuable to have, and it's only the only luck junction scroll that you'll find off of an enemy. So you'll get this ability from one or two of the GFs, like in the way late game, but it's always good to have it now, because luck kind of factors into a lot of different things. It'll decrease the damage you take, activate criticals when you actually can activate your limit break without being in a low HP state, and just a whole bunch of game mechanics from, the perspective of how Squall uses his limit, what kind of limit he gets at the end, like his abilities. So luck junction scroll is definitely worth stealing off of Odin, because he drops G returners, and those aren't that great at all. You can just buy those from the pet store. Now, with the setup I have Squall doing as max damage as he can, but I took Ultima off of here because we're not going to get in any encounters in this area that are going to be magic based, so we don't need to worry about that. We want to do as much damage as possible, especially when we're trying to get the Tonberry King. I do recommend on your magic page to at least have 2 open slots. If you're full of magic, at least have 2 open slots, because there's going to be 2 magic specifically that we're going to go after here. Since I have a high level Squall at 36, once we get to Odin, he is going to have the triple spell, and we're not concerned with like the other spells that he has, which could be double, death, or Esuna or something like that, because we can refine those easily. Now triple, this will be the first time we see triple, and obviously it's better than double, so it allows you to cast magic 3 times in a row with one character. But the real purpose of gaining 100 triples from this fight is going to be to junction it. Once you junction it, if you see over here the hit percentage, triple does a lot of good things. Triple is a very powerful magic, and it can fit well into any of the junctions, but usually you want to put triple in the hit, the speed, evasion, or luck stats. And this will help a character like Zell, who, and before I put this on, had a 99% chance to hit things, and with double it was 139. So with triple it will probably be up in the 200s, and every stat goes up to 255, so we want to try to maximize our usage here. Don't have any elemental attacks on, because nothing in there is going to be severely weak to any kind of magics. And then on the magic page, I also got rid of all of the level 2 spells that I didn't really need anymore, and a bunch of spells that I feel like have no use any longer in my magic page. So some of these are still subject to leave at some point, because we are going to get tremendous magics throughout the game, pretty much from this point on. but you do at least want to have 2 open slots for each character, because we are going to get the triples off of Odin, and we are going to get full life from the Tonberry King. So very good things to have at this point. And for the Odin fight, honestly, he doesn't do any damage to you. He wants you to beat him. So the only thing that you really do have to worry about is just mugging the Luck Judgment Scroll off of him. If you fail to do that, then you're going to have to restart the area from a prior save and try to attempt to get it again. Or you can heal Odin and continue the fight, and that way you just watch the timer. But with the ×3 option, this is so much more easier to do in this version of the game. So go in there with Encounter None. You don't want to get into a bunch of random battles that will eat at your clock. Have Mug on 1 character. Every one of your characters needs to have Draw. I put Recover on Squall because this thing is really powerful. It'll full cure anybody. And there are a bunch of undead monsters in here, so if you don't have Encounter None, or you're not using the Encounter None boost, then, you know, you'll run into some undeads in there and you can just use this to insta-kill them. Now, for GF-wise, the only GF that's going to really help us here is Diablos. So this is where Diablos is going to shine the most, because when we go after the Tonberry King, you have to fight at least 20 Tonberries, and after the 20th Tonberry dies, the king is going to spawn in. And the Tonberries in this game are pretty much like any other Tonberry. They walk towards you, they stab you for max damage, and they are loaded with HP. So because I do have a high level Squall, they're going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with, but there are many methods you can use to take down the Tonberries. One way is to use Diablos, because they are not immune to fractional damage, or you can use Demi. I use Diablos because he has a stronger Demi-like ability, and depending on the HP level of the Tonberries, it'll usually hit 9999s, and then you can just hit away with your strongest characters. So in this case, all my characters are hitting pretty hard, so we should be able to defeat these Tonberries pretty quickly. And Tonberries will not give you any experience, so there's no need to worry about that. And they will also drop the Chef's Knife quite a lot. So if you want, you can have 1 character with bugs still on, and you'll actually mug a lot of Chef Knives off of them, which turn into the death spell. So up to this point, I haven't really worried about death as much. It's a really good spell to have, especially attached to your status attack. But ideally, you do want at least your 3 main characters to have over 100 deaths, because we're going to be getting to that point in the game now where everything's going to try to one-hit KO us. So that's one strategy you can use with fractional damage. Another one is to use the Magic Meltdown. So if this thing hits, it'll turn them like a purple, like pink color, and that means that the status effect will make them Vitality 0, which they'll take max damage and have no defense at all. So that's another method to take them down. And or the more dangerous method is to have Squall or anyone in your party that does really good damage with their limit break to be low level, or not low level, but low HP. So in the yellow HP, and just spam limit breaks on these guys. But for me, I'm going to use the Diablos method, because he doesn't get used often in this game, and that's just, you know, the only time that I will spam Diablos at this point. And taking out 20 Tonberries is very time consuming, so yeah. Anyway, we are good to go, and we are going to enter. So have move find on in this place too, because there are some hidden save points and draw points in here that'll make your life a lot easier in case things do go wrong. Just want to make sure I got more spaces here. Yep. Alright, so once you enter, the countdown timer is going to begin, so just follow along and I'll do my best to explain what I'm doing here. Odin will be talking to us as we go through here. A drain point will be right over there. Take the right side of these stairs up. Continue up to this big building. And for some reason, it's like the encounter rate is very, very high in this area, so that's why I would recommend encounter none, but encounter half two would help you out. From here, you want to take the left set of ladder here, and then continue going up. You'll hop off, head straight, and then just spam X inside of here, and you'll turn on this little mechanism. This will open up the stairs, or another switch at the bottom, which is what we want to do. Now hit this blue little icon over here, and the stairs over here just started spawning out of nowhere. That drop point right there has an arrow. Obviously it's not really worth using, but this is just another way up and around. Okay, so from here, what you want to do is you want to take this eye out of this gargoyle. This is part of the puzzle, so run up these flight of stairs to the back area right here. This is going to be the pain draw point. Pain is very, very good to have on your status attack because it causes poison, darkness, and silence all in one hit. So I usually just stock up on pains in the end game, and I get rid of bio, blind, and silence, so it'll free up 3 spots since one magic does all of that in one hit. On this gargoyle, you want to put the right eye in, and then you want to leave it as is. Then we're going to get a code, and everyone's code is going to be different, so it's just a random assortment of numbers here. So make sure you write it down if you have short-term memory loss. And mine is 44429. Now we got to take out both of the eyes, run all the way back down, and insert the eyes into the gargoyle right here. A bunch of numbers will spawn, and all you got to do is just type in the code. And then hit triangle once you are complete. And then in here is when we're going to encounter Odin. Now you can turn off move find if you want to have a stronger hitting squall or any abilities that aren't going to help you here. And hopefully your junction to your magic is very powerful, so you can draw 9s and triples, so you're not spending too much of the fight trying to draw like 1 triple at a time. If that is the case, then I mean, draw as much as you can before the timer hits 0. All that's going to happen is that you'll get kicked out of here and you'll have to restart the entire area and do that all over again. So we'll approach Odin. And 16 minutes is plenty of time to get this done. So he'll never attack us. So he has stop, death, double, and triple. Draw what you need, but at the very least, at least triple, and you want 100 for each character. But before I do any of that, I'm going to mug him. And ideally, you want your mugger to have very low damage so it doesn't kill him right away. And once you've stolen that Luck Junction scroll, go ahead and start stocking all of the triples. And times 3 will help this out so much. So you can see Zell's going to be problematic in this fight because his magic stat just is, for him, he's just magically like inept. No matter how high you get his stat, it just seems like he's always going to be a step behind everybody here. So then while we wait around for Zell, you can draw death with your character that probably doesn't have 100. And then we'll get the rest from the Chef's Knives as we end this battle. And that's it. Now, Odin is considered a GF. He will not show up in your GF menu, though. So what makes Odin kind of difficult to deal with is that if you're trying not to level up, he's going to randomly spawn in battles, and he just absolutely just destroys everything in one shot. So when he arrives, that's it. You know, you're going to get the experience, and you're probably going to level in ways that you don't want to. So if you don't want Odin right away, you can save him for the end game, like I explained earlier. But, you know, I figured it's better to get him now, and it's good to get him now way before the 3rd disc too, because he is going to be needed for a kind of another hidden GF and a hidden scene in this game. So I always grab him now, but the most important thing to come away with is this Luck Junction scroll, because the 8G returners, we don't need that. We have plenty of them as it is. And that's it. So just keep encounter none on, and this place is pretty much trivial at this point. And then you'll see that that is no longer there. Now, if you do decide to go after the Tonberry King, at the very least, you are going to be met with that countdown timer, so which means that you'll have 20 minutes to defeat 20 Tonberries plus the Tonberry King. So if you manage to not do that, you'll have to restart the area because you're going to get kicked out. And I do believe that they at least save your death count towards the Tonberries. So say you're at 17 and the timer runs out, all you'll have to do is kill 3 more Tonberries, and he should pop up with another 20-minute timer on you, which should be plenty of time to take out the Tonberry King. So don't feel like if you got up to 17 and then you hit that 20-minute time limit and you got kicked out that it restarts you. It doesn't. It saves however many Tonberries you killed in one go. So I'm going to run back out and save in case things go wrong here, because Tonberries can be very annoying to deal with. And then for this part, I'm going to show the Diablo strat and take out a Tonberry. But after that, I'm gonna probably end the video, and then I will make another video once I am very close to the number of Tonberries that I need defeated before this thing spawns out. But as I said before, you need to defeat at least 20. And sometimes it can show up a little bit earlier than that, so if you're at 18 and you defeat it and you see a Tonberry pop up that has a crown on him, then you know that you got the Tonberry King. So with our new magic triple, as I said before, this thing is very powerful. So, I mean, look at that. It junctions well to strength, to magic. Can't use it in here. From double for Zell, we're going from basically his base of 99 to 249, which means that he's on par with Squall from here. And honestly, you don't need to put it in here because there's not a lot of evasive enemies other than the Cactuars. But we're not even going to go near those guys yet, so there's no point. So I would suggest probably putting this in your strength because we're going to need to be hitting hard. And I believe Ultima, yeah. And then for Ultima, so as you see, I mean, we are blowing this thing wide open. And for Noah, we're just going to go ahead and make those deaths 100 for her. Where'd they go? There you go. You have a full squad of some pretty hard-hitting people now. So with Squall at the strength of 203 plus his weapon overall, this man's going to be doing damage upwards in the 4 or 5 grand area, depending on, if you use Meltdown or not. Tonberries do move kind of quickly in this game, so you also want to move very quickly yourself. And then with the Tonberry fight, so if you know that you're getting close to the Tonberry King potentially spawning, I would go into your GFs and also switch those to an ability that you'll learn, because the Tonberry King nets a lot of AP, and you just don't want AP to go to waste there, but it don't really matter if you do or don't. Mostly because there's a better way to get AP in this game. So, do the try and shoot method of pen and paper and keep track of how many Tonberries you defeat, or use your phone, does not matter. So then you're going to take off counter none. And just give Zell something that is going to help him. Probably vitality. Now, I don't think that the death spell junction into your status defense is going to prevent their chef's knife ability from actually hitting full damage. because it's kind of weird. It's like it's based off of like physical damage. Even though it has death attached to it, it doesn't prevent the death element. But I put it in there anyway, just because I have nothing else I want to put in there. And Tonberry King has like one really annoying move that could confuse your guys. So if you have Confuse, I would probably junction these two. At least on one character. If you're using the status defense or you spread your GFs around properly, you can also have your other characters with this stuff. But we should be able to handle the Tonberry King pretty easily. Alright, so I'll show one Tonberry, and then I'll make another video when I get closer to the Tonberry King himself. So in this specific area, all you're going to be doing is running back and forth. You will encounter nothing but Tonberries in this area. Yep. And they carry the death spell. So summon Diablos. Yep. So as you can see, they are going to be pretty tough. Let's try and take down. But Diablos hit a bunch of damage there, so it's depending on how fast you can summon Diablos in that fight, and just getting off as many attacks as you can work, you know. Another thing to use would probably be to Mad Rush your characters. Mad Rush will cause Protect, Berserk, and Haste. So if you just do this over and over again, you'll probably end up killing the Tonberries pretty quickly. Thankfully, the ×3 method helps out. Or if you want to, you could use the power boost by clicking down on the right stick, and you'll just gain turns every single time. And this will just help the monotony of killing 20 of these dudes over and over again. But any way you choose to play, that was the Diablos method. And then if you get Squall low enough HP, you can just spam his limit. That's pretty much it. So spend some time over here, get Odin, and I'll see you guys again when I get the Tonberry King to spawn. But thanks for watching.